Let's be vulnerable. I'm so vulnerable. Let's be vulnerable. I'm so vulnerable.
On to another episode of the Jelly Lounge radio show. We'll discuss politics like family. That's the theme song, Vulnerable, from my new single, Vulnerable, on the music copyright, from the upcoming double disc album, Jelly for Life, Jelly Forever. It's going to be a great album. I'm your host, Jelly. A lot of stuff happening in politics recently. First, definitely congrats to Mayor-elect Mary Sheffield. She's doing something different. She's letting the whole city of Detroit get involved in the whole transition team. She's created a website, risehigherdetroit.com, where they're going to have a survey where all city of Detroit residents can put input to what's going on, what they think the city needs. They also have it where you can submit your resumes and let them know what positions you want to be interested in. It's historic. She had it on Instagram's first time ever where you really are having the whole city involved. So it's not no middle, midtown, downtown, and the rest of Detroit. She's trying to answer that question where it's all of Detroit and the citizens can be involved in the transition of what the city will be looking like once she takes leadership in January. I submitted my resume. Why not? I think I add something to the city as well. Want to get on here because I have stuff going on. People dealing with loss, praying for people, and need to step away from social media for a second. But we got to talk about politics because also, before I get to the main thing I'm going to talk about, the Downtown Development Authority has pledged $75 million to help revitalize Detroit Renaissance Center and the riverfront. And that's going to be awesome because if you ain't been to Detroit, it's a whole new world when you go downtown on what they got going on, what it look like. We can compete with the suburbs now. It's pretty awesome. Shout out to all the people viewing. And it's a great time to be in the city of Detroit right now. Only thing I think is missing because they do have a Myers downtown on East Jefferson. We had a theater. We don't have one. There were talks to have an Imagine Theater down there, but we'll see if that still happens. And shopping. Now, there is some things in the Detroit Renaissance, so maybe they might make it more of a spot to do that. That'd be pretty awesome as well. So Detroit got a lot of stuff going on. And if you need to vote, it does matter. Just like President Donald Trump signed the bill to reopen the government. The House had a rigorous debate and vote. It was 2022 with 6 House Democrats voting with it to the 218 no's, I believe. And even with the Senate, you had some Senator Democrats side with Republicans to move the bill forward. The Democrats have been arguing that they have been sitting out from voting because of the Obamacare tax issues. And they may have a valid point. But as an independent voter, and this is where I look at both parties as they need to do better, they all were still getting a paycheck for the last 42 days or 43, how long it took, which has become historic for the history books on this. You had TSA agents, all federal workers, air traffic controllers, military. These people ain't getting a check. A lot of people, if you come across different media outlets and long food bank lines, feed their families or DoorDash, whatever. And all these same people, the Schumers and all the others from both sides who were trying to plead their argument on town halls on the main political shows, CNN, MSNBC, or Fox News Channel, y'all all got a check, and I got a problem with that. So whether they had a valid point or not, y'all were getting a check. I do think if it gets implemented whenever the government shut down, no one gets a check. I think Congress would have sat in Congress until they hammered out a deal they all could stomach. Compared to you seeing these people going through for a month and almost 2 weeks, but your families ain't got no problem because y'all all still getting paid. It ain't like y'all were donating their salaries to cover these families. If y'all was taking their paychecks to cover all the workers who needed to take care of their families, okay, y'all want to argue and bicker on what's the right deal, cool. But real families were being affected by this. So I don't care what deal y'all had to make. Y'all need a deal to get done so they can be good. And you can't judge what people go through. Everybody have a season where stuff ain't always right and they just getting by. It happens. Everybody need help here and there. And to play politics on this is crazy. 43 days almost. You can't justify any excuse on any side on why y'all wasn't, even let's take the Republican side. Okay, we not trying to cover that, or immigrants who are here illegally, try to give them health care, whatever their argument was. Why wasn't y'all sitting in the Senate and House like, we here, we ain't going nowhere. We're going to be here every day until they come to the table. Let's work a deal. Or the Democrats. Neither party was sitting in the House or Senate. I'm living here until we come up with a deal because we're here for the American people. Everybody out chilling, giving talking points. And real families were being affected. And that's like, wow. That's what y'all doing? Now, I find it very odd that once the FAA started saying, okay, since this shutdown keeps going, we're going to start cutting flights. Now, this past weekend, we're around the clock in the Senate or the House to hammer out a deal. Why? Because now you're affecting supply chain. Everything don't run through the truckers, and shout out to all the great truckers out there driving, be safe. A lot of stuff gets flown in. And now you're going to start affecting that. Now y'all doing your job to try to stomach a deal to get it open. But it wasn't a necessity where y'all going to be there every weekend or whatever for the American people that were being affected by not working. People making social media videos, military crying, how they going to take care of their families. What did we do wrong? Like, that's not cool. And that then, because they had to hear about it, but that didn't have them say, "Nah, we need to get back to Congress and figure this out." No, they didn't do that. Nope. In my opinion, they didn't care. They stuck on, well, we ain't covering that, but we stuck on covering this, and we gonna stay out because we ain't gonna do it. Like, come on, man. Now supply chain gonna be affected. Now it's time to hammer out a deal. Then you got a lot of people saying, well, it's Democrats cave. They need to be voted out. Like, their constituents are being affected too. I mean, so what would have been the solution? Let this run out to January 1st? I mean, Americans love to spend money, especially around the holidays. So a lot of people have been doing that. That affects GDP and bottom line for a lot of corporations. Then you got a lot of people struggling. You start having people talking about they're going to start what you shouldn't do. If I don't get my SNAP benefits, I'm going to start stealing food. No, you shouldn't do that. Shouldn't do that at all. Lean on the Lord. He got you. Whatever you call him. I know here in Detroit, you had Mayor Duggan working with all the different companies to make sure. I think they still had the food banks open this week until just to be safe. But you had a lot of other people making food pantries and people donating. You had American people doing the job of Congress, which is shameful, in my opinion, because they're seeing these videos of people going through like, dang, how can I be a blessing? And y'all getting paid almost 200,000 a year salary, but y'all on TV cracking jokes. I mean, people were playing the video and they had a town hall Stephen A. Smith was a part of, and air traffic control asked a question, then he left to do DoorDash. And people look at him like he can play both sides, but what he said did have merit. This guy is not getting paid while we playing, y'all talking politics, and he going to do DoorDash, but everybody on this panel getting paid. Even for those, you get another check. And even that didn't compel Congress. We all need to come to the table and figure out something, hammer out a deal. We're going to have to stomach it because the people need to be taken care of. So I don't know much, but I would say, why are you a Republican or Democrat? And that's what they're showing how they feel. Because they do come off like it's more about money compared to policies. Because y'all supposed to be there for the American people. That's what the founding fathers created. All of this. And y'all up there knowing people going through and not saying, no, we got to tighten this up, man. This ain't right. I know we were trying to fight on the Democratic side, but we got people going through. We got to come to something that we can stomach. You don't see that. 10 days went by, 20 days, 30 days, 42 days. And both times you had some Democrats had whatever, maybe they look at their constituents, they getting feedback like, man, if you want to keep your spot come midterms, you better make sure you did your best to make sure your people, your state can be taken care of. And there's been a lot of pushback, but I think Schumer need to go. A lot of these old school people need to go because you had people really going through, man. I mean, it used to be when I was coming up, if you get a government job, oh, you good. You can retire from that. Nope, don't think that no way now. Now with this new way of politics, government job ain't the guaranteed thing now. Because I don't know who could do it, but I doubt Congress would want to implement a fail-safe. No one gets paid when the government shuts down. That might make them come to the table quicker. I really do believe that. And I'm not the only one that share that sentiment out here that if none of them was getting a check, they might have been more upon them to let's go ahead and take care of this. But their life wasn't inconvenienced at all. They inconvenienced a lot of people. Few American people's lives were turned upside down for a month. Now, some learned they got to do better financial thing, get things caught up, have something saved. Some people do need government help. That's what the stuff is placed there for. Then you had a lot of different debates about it, but to my understanding, you're paying to FICA. So if you get unemployed, that's help. If you need to get the state aid or state insurance, Medicaid, whatever, that's there to help you till you get back on your feet, get back out there, do your thing. Now, I can understand the argument. You're not trying to get those benefits to immigrants that are not American citizens. I get that. American citizens come first in all everything. So if anybody to see this, Jefferson Republican, come what you want. You're an American citizen, you come first. Every other country do that. I can't go to Canada that's right next door to Detroit and start talking about I want A, B, C, D, E. They might look out like, well, we got to take care of the Canadian citizens first, then we'll take care of you. Rightfully so. That's just me. That's just common sense. But we've gotten away from that common sense in America where we've been taking care of everybody else. And you got to, I mean, Tupac made it in songs years ago. You got money for wars, but can't feed the poor. What the hell? That should not be a thing in 25, where you got a lot of American citizens pulling together to help take care of each other. And we got a functioning government. They ain't up there to just make money. They up there to do the job and the will of the people. And we need to hold them accountable. That's why you need to vote in the midterms, all local elections, as well as president, to make sure the right people understand it's a pecking order. You up there do a job for us. If you don't want to do that job, we'll get someone that will. Maybe some better independents will come along with good ideas, and maybe people need to start voting for them. Because this just showed you they're not looking out for you, the American people. They didn't care y'all was struggling. I don't care which one's your favorite, don't care. They were still collecting checks. Even I talked about on the ground floor, other places. Well, them. I don't care. Democrat, Republican don't care. Y'all were getting paid while federal workers were not. To me, that's a problem. And y'all weren't living in the House or the Senate trying to do a deal because these people going through. Y'all playing politics, being on all the political shows, giving your opinion instead of I'm talking directly on the House floor or the Senate floor. This is why we'll be until we get a deal. I ain't see one of them do that. You start having some non-known people trying to come up with a deal that we heard about. And shout out to them for trying. But it took the FAA to say we're going to start shutting down flights, cutting planes from getting up there. That's going to start affecting supply chain. Supply chain matters. Everything ain't on a truck. Some stuff comes in through plane. That made them get off their ass and go run. Okay, we're going to be here until we get a deal now. And that's sad. It didn't matter that the American people that y'all were voted in by were going through. No, that wasn't. No. They all right. They cool. But that supply chain about to be affected. Oh, whoa. Time out. We got to fix this. I ain't come up with a deal. So voting, this is a good example. Your vote does matter. Now, on another bright side news, new Costco is looking to be built on Telegraph near I-696 in Southfield, Michigan. It's pretty cool. They got a business one on the Live Service Drive. Pretty dope spot. They're starting to branch out, which is showing the Metro Detroit thing is changing because a lot of them were stuck farther out, really want coming back in, but things are different. It's good for the state. More options, more job opportunities. And this weekend's coming up. Hope you're doing something fun and stay plugged into what's going on in the world. Know for yourself. Just like if you go to church and they tell you to read the Bible for yourself, when it comes to politics, you should know what's going on in your state and city. Who's being elected? What are their policies? How does it affect you and your family? Just like we be plugged in when every 4 years for the presidency, you need to do that for your state and city. That's important. They affect the rules and regulations on how you can move. So it don't take much. I mean, there's a lot of people that talk about it on YouTube. A lot of other media outlets. Just do a little research. Stay plugged in what's going on so you know how to move, take care of your families. Because they're going to 26. Hopefully it's better than 25. People get back to being grown-ups and doing the business of the American people. But you can't call it. You got to pay attention. Chestnut checkers. Don't just don't think everything gonna be normal. Social norms ain't like they used to be in politics. Ain't like that now. So you gotta stay informed. So I definitely hope. Oh, definitely check out my latest political thriller book, The Order of 12th Intellect. It's a great book, great story. You'll love the villain. Lord Ragnar III, he your trip. And can FBI director Cleo Ringo and his team stop him? Story that will be on your screens coming soon. You want to check the story out. Hope you guys be safe. Enjoy your weekend. Until next time.